Hello, my old friend Henry Harjack of Yogurtdale Boulevard Frozen Yogurt at 240 Cloverdale Boulevard in Cloverdale, California. This is Matthew with FreePrescriptionLenses.com, and I'm going to cut your 100th pair of glasses that you have gotten from me. And remember, with 100 you get free sprinkles. But today we're going to be cutting the Rayban 2132 New Wayfarer color 710, which is the classic tortoise, in the 52 eye size. So let me take everything out of the original packaging as Rayban sends it to me. Your Italian leather Rayban case, your Rayban cleaning cloth, and junk mail that's in there because you just don't get enough in your regular mailbox at home. So now they're put in your eyeglass case. This is your frame. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together while it is being shipped from Italy. And of course, I'm going to put all the manufacturer's original packaging in there when I ship to you in Cloverdale, California. But the first thing I'm going to do, and of course, this is the, I was about to say the classic look. It is the classic look, but it is the New Wayfarer. It is model number 2132. New Wayfarer, color 710 in the 52 eye size. So I'm going to take out your original sunglass lenses, your heavy glass breakable lenses. That's what glass sounds like. And I'm going to cut unbreakable bulletproof lenses, the thinner, lighter weight unbreakable bulletproof lenses to go in there. So I'm going to put the frame into the tracing out of my edger and hit start. A little stylus is going to pop up and it's going to go around and trace the shape of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing for the left side. Here at FreePrescriptionLenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic Rayban frame and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses, or if you like, I can do non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipts have my federal ID tax number, and if you have vision insurance or unused flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Henry, that ship sailed for you a long time ago. You know you need some prescription. And so, that is the shape of your lens. Let's find one of those here. Only magnified. I'm going to minify it down to the actual size. That green outline is the size of your lens. I'm going to magnify it again while I work on it. The pupillary distance for your right eye and your left happen to be equally 32. So the computer starts at 32.5. I'm going to hit this little minus sign one time. It goes down in half millimeters and we're at 32 millimeters. So let's go ahead and get your lenses prepped. That's what you need, some preppy lenses. Okay, so let's come down here. Your right eye reads plus a quarter minus 1 at 105. Plus a quarter minus 1 at 105. Let me check everything zeroed out. That looks good. In fact, let me go ahead and highlight this. Plus a quarter minus 1. Of course, these are a transition with Crizal Alizé, and this is your right lens. So, plus a quarter minus 1, 105. Plus a quarter minus 1 at 105. Put the power drum on plus a quarter. Take your lens out of the protective sleeve. In fact, it even comes with a little plastic protective laminate on the front of the lens that protects the lens from anything rubbing against the front surface of it while it's being shipped. I'm going to take that off, and of course I'm going to put it on there when I ship to you. But for now, let's see. Let's put your lens in. Rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of the lens. Check the astigmatism correction, of which I'll explain in a little bit. And then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. It may be too light for you to see, so I'm going to darken them. Let me just hold them up to a white background. 1, 2, where did it go? There it is, 3. I'm going to put an R on here for right. I apologize if any of this is not in the shot. I am a professional licensed optician, which is hard to believe. But I'm not a professional licensed cinematographer, which is easy to believe. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, let's see here. Left eye, plus 1 1/4 minus 150 at 85. Highlight that for you. Plus 1 1/4 minus 150. I'm going to spin the axis wheel to 85. Let me mark this one L. And of course, you're going to get all the manufacturer's original packaging to know that you are getting the authentic Essilor brand Transition Signature 7 lenses with Crizal Alizé. And if any of you missed any of that, let me recap. Oh, that's a bad joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. Wait, what am I doing with the pen? I still need to use that pen. Okay, left lens, out it comes. Take off the little laminate, stick it right there for now. Put the power drum on +1 1/4. Put the lens in, rotate it to find the optical center. Check the spherical component, we are good. Check your astigmatism correction, we are good there. Put that in there, and again, let's put 3 dots on the lenses. I'm getting that ink on my finger, look at that. All right, pause, let me clean that up. Don't worry, that is not real blood. If it was, I would be screaming and crying now. That's how you can tell that it's not real. Better to be caught red-thumbed than red-handed. Okay, am I done making a mess? I think so. All right, so let's make sure that the dots are on there. Take that out. Darken those so you can see these at home. I just need a lighter color background to see that. We're good. I'm going to put an L on here. L stands for not right. Just like me. I ain't right either. So let's take all this back down here. Put the right lens up on the platform. Now, this is a block, as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need to use a double-sided adhesive sticker, of which I've got 2 right here, my last 2 that I have. Ignore all these others. These are my last 2. And of course, the black side is the sticky side. That's what makes it stick to my finger. I'm going to stick one onto the first block. I'm going to stick one onto the second block. Now on the back is a little silver button. That is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time is to hold it in place in the blocker arm, which I'm about to do. Let me pull the paper off to make the black side sticky. Marry that magnet to the magnet that's in there. And the reason why I put those 3 red dots on there is it tells me that the lens is oriented in there perfectly on this straight line. Hopefully you can see this orange graph. So the blue cross is the geometric center of the frame. If I were to measure vertically and horizontally, that blue cross is dead center. So your eye is just inset from there inside that little box right there. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm going to get that lined up. The other 2 dots, let me move that arm there. The other 2 dots, one being there, the other being there, tells me that it is lined up perfectly. Once it does get lined up in there perfectly, come on now. I'm going to take my finger off it, it moves. And I'm going to hit that button, the block is going to come down, and now the arm is going to come down, and now the block is applied to the right lens. Let's do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Make sure that magnet goes into the right spot. Grab my stylus, even though I can do it with my finger. Put that dot there, your optical center. That center dot is your optical center, I should say. The other 2 dots are lined up perfectly. And let's go ahead and hit the button, and now the block is applied to your left lens. I forgot to use my finger. Alright, so this is the actual edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out and buy their own, and then they won't have to buy glasses from me anymore. But the actual cutting wheel, and grab the stylus again, is over here on the far right. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper to grind away your lens material. This wheel in the center with that channel, that little valley, that's what's going to apply the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and take the right lens, and we're going to place it into the magnet. That little silver button is going to do its job a second time. It's going to hold it in place into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it chuck. Now using my finger, I'm going to pull up the shape of your lens. It doesn't like my finger. Where's the stylus? Okay. So these are polycarbonate lenses. If it was plastic, high index or Trivex, I would select that. But these are polycarbonate. I do not want to put a polish on the edge of the lens. I do not want to put a bevel on the front surface, the convex surface of the lens. I only want to put a bevel on the rear surface, the concave side of the lens. And that concludes your vocabulary lesson of the day. I'm just going to hit the green arrow, which is start in every language. The door comes down, that clamp shuts onto the lens, and then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around, figuring out the shape that it's going to cut. And of course, it measures twice. The second time measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing and give you the best cosmetic look possible. Now if you see the light flickering in the background, that is water running. It is only there to catch the optical sawdust. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic and high index plastic do cut wet. In a moment you're going to hear a grinding sound. That's my teeth because I've eaten some espresso beans today. And now the second sound you hear is your lens as it starts to begin cutting against the cutting wheel. You can see a little optical sawdust is still attached to your lens there. Now, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate. As I mentioned, they are Essilor brand lenses. Essilor is one of the premium lens manufacturers out there. They call polycarbonate airwear because they feel they're as light as air. These are the Transition Signature 7 gray lenses. That is why it is airwear. TR stands for Transitions, the Roman numeral 7, GY for gray, and of course Crizal Alizé. Now, polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. Your lenses are bulletproof up to 22 caliber and have both UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. See how your lens is completely flat around the edges, just like a nickel? If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel applied to the lens. As I mentioned, you do get 100% UVA and UVB protection, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that need to be reapplied every few hours when you're in intense direct exposure to the sun. This is permanent and will never need to be reapplied. You can see as the water splashes onto the lens, it does that for the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle just to wash away any optical debris. Now, one of the nice things about your anti-glare coating lens, it's actually 3 features in one. The anti-glare eliminates glare when driving at night, but particularly driving at night in the rain from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. It's also an anti-reflective lens. It goes by the initials ARC, which is an anti-reflective coating, meaning that when people are looking at you, they're not going to see their reflection in your lens. They'll see just your eyes, so it makes for much better eye contact. Plus, if someone takes a picture of the flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens. You'll see just your eyes. So if you're taking selfies or someone else takes a picture of you, you won't see the flash because that's no bueno. Now, the other nice thing about this coating is because it takes over 24 hours to apply, well, actually to vaporize 7 different coatings onto the lens. Crizal gives you the hardest scratch coating possible because of the time and expense that it takes to make the lenses. They want to protect their investment. So I'm just going to dry your lens off. You see that, Henry? I had to use my last paper towel. I'm going to have to charge you more because now I'm going to have to go out and buy some more paper towels. It's only fair. You know, the music stops in musical chairs. When the music stops and the music stops, I have to charge you more. That's how it goes. That's how the medical industry works. You got that, buddy? Aren't you glad you're into frozen yogurt? So, okay, I'm going to see if the lens fits. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Using my thumbs, press down the nose. It snaps right in. So let's go ahead and cut the L lens, the unright lens. Let's flip that over to L. Put the lens in there. Come on, magnet. Let's get the Chuck to work. Thank you, Chuck. And then let's hit the green arrow button. The door is going to close, the clamp is going to shut, and then it's going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that the lens is large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around. And the old carpenter saying, measure twice, cut once, is measuring the thickness of the lens to know where to place the bevel for the best cosmetic look possible. And of course, no edge thickness whatsoever in this frame. So let's go ahead and take this block off. It is no longer needed. Pull that off. We're going to come back down here and we grab the flashlight. We're going to come back down here. I'm going to spin the axis wheel back to 105. Put the lens in the lensometer just above that red dot. And I'm going to read the power off the lens. And I'm getting +1/4. +25. 1 tick mark away from 0. Now, the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, which we in the industry call plano, which other people in Texas call a city. That's right, Plano's a city. But it goes up in quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, 1 and a quarter, 150. Look, all these numbers are represented. Tic-tac-toe. So you actually need one step of magnification, which is the least amount you can have in your right eye. However, you need 4 steps of astigmatism correction, so most of your prescription is astigmatic. Now, there is a stigma over the word astigmatism. It just means shape. It's like saying someone has straight hair, someone else has curly hair. You don't freak out when you hear that, do you? Everyone just freaks out when they hear the word astigmatism. It is not a disease. It is not an affliction. So, you need one step of correction for the magnification. That's why there's a plus sign. But you need 4 steps of astigmatism correction. This first number makes everything the correct size. Astigmatism is what makes 6's and 8's look alike, or the letters P and F. Think of it as the fine-tune knob, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 105, a straight line from 0 to 180. So we're going to turn that knob just past 90 to about 105. Now your left eye needs considerable magnification, 5 steps. And then it needs an additional 6 steps to clear up the fuzzy edges. Again, the astigmatism is what it does. But we're just going to turn that knob to about 85, just shy of 90. Now this number could be anywhere from 0 to 180, and it really doesn't mean anything. The first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. So we're at plus 25. We're going to do 4 steps backwards, minus, to check the astigmatism correction. And when we do that, we end up with minus 75, 1 tick mark away from 1. So that is made perfectly. Remember high school algebra where you have to add the unlike signs? So if we start with 25 cents and someone borrowed $1, we would be minus 75 in the red. How about that? Minus 75 in the red. So let's go ahead and check your left lens. Let's take that out. Hit the button there. Come on out, lefty. Man, all this work is making me hungry for some frozen yogurt. I was checking out the Facebook page for Yogurtdale Boulevard frozen yogurt, and I happened to see a picture that Carlos Santana stopped by to get some yogurt. That is one of my favorites growing up. I've been fortunate enough to see him in concert about 10 to 12 times. He was always my favorite growing up. Incredible musician. So, let's go ahead and tuck the left lens in at the outside corner first. And then using my thumbs, I press down the nose, it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and take this block off. That is no longer needed. Let's come back down here. Spin the axis wheel to 85. That's the 85, the fine-tune knob for the astigmatism correction of the left eye. Put it in over that red dot. Measure the power, and I am getting plus 125. Here's 0 plus a quarter. 50, which is halfway between 0 and 1. So 50, 75, 1, 1 and a quarter. Let's check. You have reversed that back 6 steps of minus 150, astigmatism correction, and we end up with minus a quarter. That's right. We started off with $1.25. We lose $1.50. That means we're 25 in the red, which we are. So that is made perfectly. I couldn't make that any better if I'd done that work myself. Now your pupillary distance is 32 for the right eye, 32 for the left. The pupillary distance is literally starting at the center of your nose, going outward in each direction, is 32 millimeters. That is 32 from the center. Combined is 64 millimeters, so I'm going to turn this card around. I'm going to place a 0 against my right thumb, or my left thumb, on your right lens. And then we hold it up to the left lens. We're getting 64 millimeters, so that is made perfectly. And of course, this is the point in every video that I mentioned, that when you get these in the mail, Henry, and of course free shipping anywhere in the US, but when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no different. I'm part of that 80%, and I'll show you in just a moment. But in the meantime, I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I press down on the counter. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, press down on mine, and they wobble on the counter. In fact, I'm wearing the same frame. This is the Rayban 2132 New Wayfarer. In color, I'm wearing color 6144, in which Henry has already bought a pair of these from me, and now he's getting this. In fact, to show how they're interchangeable, I'm going to pop your lenses out and put my lenses in there. Push from behind to take the lenses out with the thumbs. Push down at the nose to get them in there. Now see, I could go around wearing your new frame. Can I borrow this frame tonight? You know, I am wearing my browns. I should have been wearing my tortoise to match this. So again, to take the lenses out, push down with the thumbs onto the counter. To put them back in, tuck them in at the outside corner, turn the frame upright. To take them out, I pushed them downward. Here, tuck them in corner, push down with the thumbs. Push down with the thumbs. To put yours in, tuck them in at the outside corner, push down with the thumbs, rotate the frame, tuck it in at the outside corner, push down with the thumbs. Now, of course, I'm also going to provide you, you're going to get the Rayban cleaning cloth that comes in your case, but I'm going to provide you with one of my own, and I always field test it to make sure that your cleaning cloth works. I don't want to send out any defective cleaning cloths there. Hey, Henry, you don't mind if I use it to clean mine since I popped my lenses out? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I make sure that no cloth is defective. Sorry, a little optical humor there. You know, I could just reach and take the one out of my pocket, but no, I want to use yours. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. But as I mentioned, because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, that's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But again, press down, there is no wobble. Did I show you my wobble? Yeah, see, I have one ear that is higher than the other. Or do I have one ear that's lower than the other? I can never remember. Alright, so let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Flip these over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, and the temples are not askew in any way. Check the tension on each hinge, that is perfect. Now, Henry, this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light to activate the transitions portion of the lens. I'm going to close these up, and over here in the corner I have my little transitions box. It just has a UV light in there, and I'm going to turn it on. And as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute to about a minute 15 to return back to virtually clear. Now, everyone else pay attention. Henry knows this. All transition lenses will get dark on day one. Give them 2 weeks of exposure to the sun, and they're going to continue to darken every day for the first 2 weeks until they get to their final darkness. After that, they will work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield has ultraviolet inhibitors, so your upholstery doesn't rot or your dashboard does not crack from sitting in the sun all day. That's why they won't turn dark in a car. Now, if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. They're also temperature sensitive, meaning they'll get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable. Your lenses are miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So this is it. That's the first time they have been activated. Of course, you got the Transitions gray with the Crizal Alizé coating on there. But if anyone has any questions, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com or simply click the Contact Me button on the website. Henry in Cloverdale, California at Yogurtdale Boulevard at 240 Cloverdale Boulevard. Hope you enjoyed watching as I cut prescription lenses with Transition Signature 7 lenses and Crizal Alizé for your Rayban 2132 new Wayfarer color 710, which is the classic tortoise, and the 52 eye size. And hopefully everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.